Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC and welcome to this edition of Channel Chat. With me today is Danny, Mr. D's Knives himself. How you doing, brother?
Good, good. How you doing, nice people? How's it going?
Man, I tell you
Oh, I
what,
should do
it's
this, right? I should
oh
slip in
man,
like I always do.
yeah, I just wanted to
Oh, I
kind
missed
of
that. See?
no, you're good, you're good. I
Right,
I've been
right.
wanting to sit. I've actually been wanting to sit down and talk with you for quite some time now, and unfortunately, my fear of technology has kind of
Yeah, likewise.
delayed
I'm
that.
on it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, but very very cool. Well, I tell you what, man. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, yeah. I just turned 40. I probably put the video up. Kind of celebrated with myself. In this COVID
Mm-hmm.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So I just turned 40. I do landscape work for public sector. And been doing that pretty much my whole life. Uh, and that's where kind of knives come into play. I do
Sure.
a lot of manual work, cutting things, throughout the day. So
Well.
knives are essential,
Oh, of
definitely.
course, of
So
course.
uh,
I mean,
um,
that's the primary tool in my job, is a knife.
uh-huh.
It just is.
Right, right. And so yeah, so that's my my liking of knives came in, probably around Rambo days, back in the 80s, for those of you that know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and put a couple things out here just to give some eye candy.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, Rambo, Rambo knives and things like that. Kind of, also like in the 80s, for those that grew up in the 80s, a lot of like kung fu movies and
Yeah.
swords and that kind of stuff. So that really intrigued me with knives. And here I'll even show you real quick. One of my first fixed blades. Check this out.
Oh,
It's
dude,
like a little
cool.
baby katana.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. It's probably like, I don't know how many years old, but yeah, I had to put a little, jerry rig the back here.
Right
So this is
on.
one of my oldest knives I can remember having. Um, and then like this one also. So yeah, slip joints are a part of it. Uh, got this at a swap meet um, back, who knows when, I don't even remember, but yeah, you can see they're pretty old.
That's kind of like one of those camp
So
knife hobo type knives, isn't it?
yeah, Colonial, I think it's
Yeah.
called.
Yep. Yep.
So, things like that, kind of sparked the interest with knives,
Sure.
um, and just keeps going and progressing. Over like the 90s, like my teenage years and stuff, I would just buy knives like, you know, even like you brought it up, right? You think you're buying them for self-defense, so you're buying things like this kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you think you're gonna do something with it, but actually, you just end up having it in your pocket, really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
then I transitioned to like knives like this, Big Five, looking at swap meet knives, things like that. And it wasn't until recently when I started for work purposes, I needed like machetes and stuff. So I
Oh,
started
okay.
looking online, and then lo and behold, I didn't even realize you had like Blade HQ and all these stores. So they pretty much opened the doors for the now addiction, I guess.
Oh, yeah. No
Yeah, yeah.
kidding.
Sorry,
And
long-winded answer there.
oh no, not at all. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. It is funny how it just kind of it evolves.
snowballs. Yeah, big,
Yo, it
big time.
snowballs. Yeah, that's probably a
Yeah.
better word for it. Is it just kind of snowballs. Well, cool. Well, so what made you
Yeah, and
start your
then
channel?
actually, well, I was hoping my son came out, but my 8-year-old son actually would watch a lot of those like unboxing toy videos, things like that.
Sure, sure.
And then one day, I was at that point, I transitioned into buying little fixed blades, like these LT Wrights, and uh, I just started buying a lot of them, and he would tell me, "Hey, Dad, why don't you open them on video?" And so I just did a little collection of videos, and one day I just threw them up, and that's kind of where it started. So
Man,
one of
what
my
is
first
it?
videos.
what is it with our kids getting us into this, man? My son got me started on mine. If you, I just posted this morning, I posted my one with Paul, nice
Right, right.
slicers. His son kind of got him
Yeah, I
into
haven't watched it
it.
yet. Uh-huh.
And it, what, I told my son, you've created a monster, man. I'm
Well, yeah,
telling you.
they're more in tune, but they forget that we talk a lot. So
Right,
I
right.
think they forget how how appealing we could be sometimes. So yeah, it's funny. The kids, they know what's up, and I guess that's just a new trend, to open things on video.
Sure.
Honestly, I never even got on YouTube until I started doing this.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so really, same thing. Like even the internet, I would rarely buy stuff on the internet until I needed to buy machetes and I couldn't find them anywhere. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and that's how it started. Yeah, so like CRKT. Um, I can't really show one right here, but
Right, right.
yeah, yeah. And,
But well, I tell you what, you know what really got me, um,
yeah,
what really drew me into your channel is that
uh-huh.
right there, your LT Wright knives, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, that's one.
that really got me into it.
Well, yeah, that too. No, nobody really had videos on them, so it's really hard to kind of gauge sizes, gauge, a lot of things, unless you see them in hand. So that's why I try to show a lot of in hand. I know my hands are all messed up, but yeah, I try to show a lot of in hand footage, and um, really don't consider myself a reviewer. I would say more of a presenter. Um, I've collected
Sure.
things my whole life. I've been collecting. I used to collect Marvel toys. I used to collect comic books, trading cards. And that's kind of the way you would progress the hobby. You would just share it with friends.
Sure, of course.
So that's kind of what this turned into. You start to find a community of people that like the same things as you, and that's kind of what I try to do. Just kind of show things off a little bit, kind of just take you through my collection.
Yeah, no,
My progression, I guess. Yeah.
no, and that's what I like about it. I love seeing. So how many LT Wrights do you think you have in your collection about now?
I have probably about, if I count them, I have most of them here, about maybe 25.
Really?
Because I have little ones that go like, I have these Patriots. These are kind of like my collectible ones.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I have some that I use. I did just send Jersey Knife Guy, if you know him.
Oh, trust
I,
me, we were definitely gonna talk about that.
yeah, that guy. I sent him my working one, so I got to now, bring out a new one to start using. This is a burlap one,
Nice.
and the X is 3V. It's called a Patriot.
Well,
Uh,
dude, since you
yeah.
brought it up, let's just talk about that for a second. You sent that knife. Well, if I remember correctly, did you
Blue
was
maple.
it aimed at him, or you had
Mm-hmm.
something for Luna too, correct? His dog, because
Yeah, I remember
he'd been having a
yeah,
rough time with the dog.
yeah, he'd been having a rough time with the dog. I'm a dog owner. I got a pug.
Me
His
too.
name's Fred. You might hear me yelling at him once in a while. Funny guy. So he, yeah, I watch his videos, and same thing. I try to be a good listener. And I heard he was having trouble with his dog, and you guys kind of got me into like slip joints again. Like these guys, the Rough
Right,
Riders.
right.
So yeah, I kind of lost interest in them, and then you guys were showing them off a lot, and obviously I got more, and I just thought, one day I was looking through the internet, and I saw one that had a dog bone, and it was just fitting. I just kind of thought I would be nice and and just send him a gift. So yeah.
And that was so
Yeah.
awesome. And he did a video on it. And it was more than obvious that
Yeah.
that little gesture meant the absolute world to him.
No, right, and to me also. I mean, that's kind of why I did it.
Sure,
Not to
sure.
touch that much emotion, but just the goodness of my heart. And same thing. I try to give back as much as I can.
Exactly.
As soon as I started my channel, I started trying to do giveaways as much as possible. You know, because we're a little spoiled, I guess. You know, we have all this. I mean, look at that. You know, look at this guy.
Oh
You know,
yeah. Now
we
I
have all
don't
these
know
pretty
if
things, and you know.
well, and that's
uh
just it, you know. And this community comes back, you know.
Yeah,
They just
absolutely. I love it.
it just
uh
at time after time after time, people
hmm
help one another, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Now I don't know if you can see my
hmm
screen or not, but if you
Oh
can't,
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
okay.
I just saw.
Do
Yeah, I
you
was looking
remember
for it. I
this
was
little
trying to.
guy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was one of my favorite ones too. So same thing.
Dude,
You have a
this
little, you catch feelings for people. You know what I mean? So I just said, I thought you would like it, and hopefully you did.
oh my
And
goodness, man.
yeah,
For those of you that don't know, Danny did send
yeah,
me this knife. Just, I mean, it was completely
yeah,
out of
just
the
the grit.
blue one day. And dude, I tell you what, this little knife is so
Yeah,
much fun.
yeah, man, I love them,
It's
dude.
such a fun
Yeah,
little knife because
yeah.
I call these little knives like this, like little bulldog knives, because you can
Right,
just get a
right.
hold of them and just
Yeah,
knives
yeah,
like this are really great for like processing fat wood and you know really just kind of kind of not necessarily detailed work, but just that close in. You
well,
have
yeah,
a
you have
lot of
that.
control.
Absolutely, you have that, just that, connection with the knife, I guess.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
and really, that's what turned me out to like these textures, right? As I was showing, I had some are wood, some are burlap, some are this micarta, that micarta. So, some are like smooth, this one's like a rough texture, right?
Right,
Then you
right.
got like this one with smooth texture. So you kind of just really got to get them in hand to know what you like. And
Exactly.
just the whole process of collecting, I guess, is something I've been doing for such a long time that it comes natural. Even like Jordans, I would collect Jordans. You know what I mean? So
Okay, okay.
yeah,
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 yeah, of
that's what
course.
these knife stores really brought out to me. It was just like quality in knives, and I never really experienced it.
Sure.
So
Yeah, for sure. And that's,
absolutely.
I guess I could, I could kind of pretty much say the same thing, is once you get into the hobby, you realize, that there's so much more out there.
Right, right.
Because like when I started, I mean, I just had, basically probably the budget stuff that I could buy at Walmart or and I still try to I'm still pretty much in touch with the budget minded for the most part. I just did a review on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Riot knife, right?
yeah.
It's a beautiful knife. Beautiful knife. But just my mindset, I don't know if it's the way I was brought up or whatever, but
hmm
I personally find it hard to put out that much money on a single knife. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah, yeah. No,
some
and I
people
appreciate all the budget stuff for sure.
and I know a lot of people won't agree with
Absolutely.
me in that, but I did
hmm
buy a CRK. I was like, you know what? I have to buy at least one really, you know, that's how I justified it in my head was I need to buy at least one really good, well-made knife so I can at least experience, what it's like, or what
Right,
I don't know. I just if I'm gonna be talking about it, I at least need to know, and that's the only
right.
one that I've really ever
Absolutely. And
spent that much money on.
I mean, in the market, right? Well, and the market kind of, people want to see that.
Of
I mean, like I
course.
have these two. This one I'm actually gonna throw in on a giveaway. But Elementums. Savivi's making such good
Oh, no kidding.
stuff that
Oh,
I
Civivi. I
mean,
mean,
from 50 to 100. Yeah, they're cranking them out, and you can't knock them for it. You know what I mean? But for me, a lot of the budget stuff just kind of got me into the hobby more, I guess.
oh sure,
They got my my senses tingling for more stuff. So
sure, sure.
um,
And that's the
yeah,
nice thing about it is there's anymore, man. There's just so much out there. So many different. I mean, it seems like there's new brands coming out
yeah,
all the time. It's a really fun
yes, sir.
time. to
Yeah.
be into knives and be collecting knives, because there's so much
Variety. Well,
variety
yeah, I
out.
mean,
Yes, exactly.
check this guy out. Look at this. I mean, this is one of my favorite knives right now, and I didn't think I was gonna like it because of the weight, the copper, but it just feels so good
Yeah.
in your hand. Like, yeah. So, you know, and I never liked microtechs. I can't even carry them legally, but yeah. So yeah,
Right.
I mean, you got all kinds of stuff, and then that leads into stuff like this, right? Like I never knew I was gonna like this, you know, pry bar, and
Right.
yeah, look, I
Right.
already used it. I forgot I was popping something open, and I was turning some screws. Like, yeah, so yeah, it kind of leads into the whole EDC, like your channel, right? Yeah. I just try to stick to knives, you know. So
Right. Right. So
yeah,
okay. So just
yeah.
typical day.
Uh-huh.
What's your typical EDC? What do you have on you in a normal day?
Normal day, I do like to carry two knives. I now am carrying these as like secondaries.
Okay.
So I got like, you know, I got a few of these canoes not that long ago. So I try to carry like a little secondary like that now.
Sure.
Um, Primary work knife. This is kind of like a primary work knife for me. So it's a little different than what I carry as like casually, or, you know, let's say on a, you know, if I go out or something.
Right.
I
Right.
carry more like knives like this one, or the Para 3 that are more water resistant.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah, you know, so you know, like this one right here this one was perfect because it was the LC 200,
Yep.
you know, the serrations, because I cut grasses and plants and stuff like that.
Okay.
Uh, so these are more of the work knives that I use, Spider Cove serrated, pair 3, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. For every day, and then, you know, of course I'll have little one of these now. And once in a while, like now in the winter time when I can have stuff, I'll carry these, some of my fixed blades. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I don't typically carry a fixed blade on me. If I'm out in the
Yeah.
yard, I do sometimes. Um
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, like, well, this one I do, like if I'm out and working in the yard, I'll take this little muck out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little Tops MSK 2.5, a little neck knife. I carry that
Yeah. Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
you know, when I'm outside working. Just
Yeah. Because you
because,
really got to
well,
wipe those off. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it just,
It's a lot easier. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
But I mean, something like
exactly.
this, I don't want to run this through like a cactus. You know what I mean? If I don't have to, you know, my
Right.
life depended on it. Okay, of course I would, but you know,
Sure.
something like this, I try to keep it more as, you know, somewhat collectible, or, you know, special
Sure.
occasions I'll carry them. Yeah, I use them as needed, I guess. You know,
Well,
I
of
try not
course.
to abuse my tools. You know, I kind of appreciate tools more than anything. So
Yeah, yeah, and I know I hear that quite often, is, you know, you hear the use your stuff, and yeah, I
uh-huh.
mean, definitely, yeah, they're a tool, you use them, but I have a hard time subscribing to the fact that if your knife doesn't look like you've just hammered it through a cinder
Yeah, you
block,
need a beat on it. Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
using
right,
it. And
right.
I don't subscribe to that. I try to keep my knives, you
It's
know,
the
in
same
good
thing as a
shape.
car, right?
It's a
Yeah,
tool. I
yeah.
keep
I
my
mean, you're gonna run your
tools.
car into a wall just to see if it works. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, exactly. Exactly.
yeah, you just drive it mellow, it'll last you longer. You know, same thing.
Exactly.
Like when I would collect shoes, you just, you know, keep them clean. You got, you know, they last a lot longer.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
you got to take care of your stuff. You know, do this kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now
So, you
you
know,
kind of
and
said you're getting back into the whole slip joint thing. I know you showed us a couple of the canoes and
right, right.
stuff, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
I think I see, you know, the whole traditional slip joint. I think it's really starting, and I could be completely wrong just because I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of out of it for a little while, but I think the traditional slip joint is really making a comeback.
I think so too, just because what I noticed is same thing like this, right? You get a feeling when you hold them in hand, right? And when you get these things, and you don't realize it till you have them, but they're kind of therapeutic, you know.
That's a
Uh,
dude, that's a good way to
the
put
diff,
it. I like
yeah,
that. That's a great way to put it.
Right. So sometimes even just in my, I'll hold it, just holding it like this, you know, and kind of rubbing through the textures, you kind of get a little, I don't know, makes you feel some type of way. So
Dude, and you know
yeah,
what? You
yeah.
know what? And I've said
And you know,
that.
same thing. That's why you, yeah,
Yeah, I have a
metals, you know,
Barlow.
yeah,
I have a little
absolutely, yeah,
Barlow knife, and I
yeah.
don't know what it is about that knife. It's a
You know, the
little,
brass. Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
when I have that knife on me, it just, I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but it's just a feeling of like,
Right, right.
I don't know, calm
It's
isn't the
not,
right word, but it's just a
yeah, no,
feeling I
I think
have.
that is right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, that you're right. The calm. Yeah, it's a calmness. You know, even like for this one, right? Like I can bring this out and I can remember what I was doing, you know, with this knife or this knife back in the day. You know, it just, you know, it just brings back those memories. You know, things like that.
Oh, sure,
So
the
that, you know,
nostalgic
that's why I
aspect
like
of
it.
it.
Yeah,
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 yeah, for sure.
big time, big time. Yeah. So
Cool, very cool. Well, I see you've got that
yeah,
Rough
you know, and I
Rider
forgot.
Reserve too. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Actually, that's the work knife. Or no, that's the razor. I have it in there. But no, I forgot that you did knives with this guy. This is the custom knife. I just got this one recently.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was the BGM.
Yes.
Yeah, I think John. I think his name was. And you know, this is one of my favorite knives right now. I mean, this is just awesome. You
The one that I
know
was
what I
looking
mean?
at, the paracord wrap on it was awesome.
So yeah, you can take it to them. You start progressing. You know, I've already gotten Hinders, Medfords now, and before I wouldn't even think about it. You know, my wife would probably get mad if I spent knew how, you know, I was spending that much on knives. So yeah, yeah. Good thing I make the money.
There you go. There you go. That can happen though. That can happen. You gotta. I know.
Yeah, you got to control it. Yeah, for sure. So
Right on.
yeah.
So, what do you
See, I
think
told you
about
I
that
talk a
Rough
lot.
Rider? What do you think about that Rough Rider Reserve?
I like them. The fit and finishing, the fit and finish was really good. You know, especially when I could compare them now, right? Because now I got these.
Right.
So same thing. Now, once you get to compare things, you get to know what, you know, what quality is, what, you know, yeah. So they're really nice. I do like them. You know, I only got one though so far. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I like the kayak one. I saw you had that. Yeah, that was, you know,
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah. That
that.
little
Yeah.
kayak. It's really.
Uh-huh.
It's. I mean, that's Andy's design, and it's
And you're,
it's really the blades on it. I really like the dual kind of, I don't know, pseudo Warncliffe reverse tanto, whatever you want to call them.
mhm.
If you put modified in front of it, you can pretty much call it anything you want. It
Yeah,
seems
really.
like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I just opened one today. This one I'm not gonna show you until the video comes out, but
okay, okay,
yeah, that one's got a modified blade too, and it's, yeah, nice. That one's
nice,
nice.
right
Yeah,
on, right
yeah.
on. Now
So
I know I'm going to
you
be
know,
coming out with a little. There's a little bit of like this one, the Whittler. It's got a teeny, I'll say teeny issue.
yeah, I heard
And
about that. The blade play issue, right?
blade wrap. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got some
Okay,
blade
something like
wrap
that.
on it, but
Oh, blade wrap. Okay. Yeah.
and in my experience in blade wrap, yeah, does it suck? Of course, it's frustrating,
Uh-huh.
but from what I'm seeing on mine, I mean, it's probably going to be gone in a couple of sharpenings
Right. Yeah. I mean,
because it's
some things
not
you can work
making
through.
it's
Yeah.
not like it's taking a chunk out of the blade or anything.
Right.
So, but I mean, I can see where people are frustrated with it. You spend $60 on a knife, and it's got a little bit of an issue. There can
Right.
I see the frustration there, but something like that, it's kind of
Yeah.
it's
So some things you got to roll with the punches, right? I mean, it's you know, I got this one. I mean, actually, good example. You bring it up. This is a Rough Rider too. I didn't like the tip on this one arm one. I modified it. You know, it's actually this one's a little bit come and done right there, but
yeah,
that enabled me to do that. So, you know, it's certain things you can live with, I guess. You know,
yeah, and
some
and
more
then
than others. Yeah.
and that is very, very individual centric too. Something that
Yes.
I
Yes. Yes.
can,
For sure.
that I may not see as a big deal, somebody else may see as a big deal. Of course,
Yeah.
and it's from
What
person to person. So,
what's your worst pet peeve on a knife? You know, on a brand new knife, I guess I should say.
Oh, my worst pet peeve.
Like unboxing it and just the worst thing, that you see that you're just like,
Um, well, to me, if a knife comes
centering,
out, kind not really centering. I don't
centering's
get
mine. Yeah.
I don't get too upset about centering as long as it's not rubbing or
Uh-huh.
like way, way, way off. I don't get too. I would probably say one of my biggest pet peeves
Mm-hmm.
is pocket clips.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, true, true. Yeah, yeah, and you're absolutely right, especially for folding knives. I mean, that's one of the biggest things of a knife, right? If it's folding.
And it's
Yeah.
sometimes, there's been a couple of knives and out there that I
Uh-huh.
put them in my hand and maybe it's just my size hand. I don't know what, but
Right.
I'm like, how did somebody not notice this? You know what I
Yes, yes.
mean?
Yes, definitely. I've seen that a lot. Of course, with the more budget knives, but yeah, sometimes you look at them and you're like, dude, what were they thinking? Or,
Yeah.
who did this? Yeah. No, you should see a package I got the other day too. It was crazy. Just yeah, I got to show that to on video.
Well,
But yeah, I mean, some people just maybe just don't see what we see, I guess. But
I guess
yeah,
probably the biggest
yeah.
pet peeve in the manufacturing process,
Uh-huh.
and it probably is more on budget knives, but when a knife is just it's not finished.
Yes,
Like the
yes, yeah.
liners, like
Craftsmanship,
yes,
craftsmanship.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like here,
yeah,
like on the
yeah.
liners and stuff, if the liners are like tacky, I've had a few knives where the liners
Hmm.
are almost sharp.
Yes, right,
They've
right.
got
Or even
that
like
tacky, and it's just like, I
yeah,
don't
even
know
like
if
some of the spider codes, yeah, things like that, yeah, like
it's
rough
just
edges,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's just
like things around here, like this stuff. Sometimes you have to finish it yourself, like that you shouldn't have to do that.
and it's
So
yeah, that would probably be
yeah,
my
things like that. Yeah.
biggest pet peeve on
Hmm.
on a brand new knife is and it's like it put does it take that much into the manufacturing process? Would it add that much more cost
Right, right.
just to do that extra little touch?
Well, and I think that's what separates some of the companies, right? That's when you start noticing,
Exactly.
yeah, as you buy or progress, you start to see same thing, right? I another fixed blade I bought a lot because I see the quality and the work was the Bradfords. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
sure.
They
Yeah.
it's consistent. Spider codes. The microtext, right? I mean, what they're doing it right. Like my dad would say, if you're gonna do anything, do it right.
Right.
Otherwise, don't do it at all. So yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, if you're gonna be a knife company, you want to put something out that's good. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
this one I paid a lot for, and I had some issues with it. It took me a while, but yeah, little things about this one.
Which now what was the issue you had with that one?
See the finishing right there? It wouldn't lock. So let's say when I flip it, it wouldn't lock
Oh,
completely, and I would push it. So I tightened it up a little bit, and I kept doing it on tight mode until it finally, you know, yeah, settled in, I guess.
now see, I had that issue with my
This bugged me out.
Centros.
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
that
the
same
finishing
issue with
bugged
my
me too right here.
Centros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and another thing with this one that really kind of bugged me was see how they didn't put either a liner or kind of do something with the rough edges on the inside of that micarta. I
Okay.
don't know if you can really tell, but yeah, that was to me like an unfinished product
Hmm.
for a 200 plus knife. You know what I mean? Especially like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought Artisan would have been a little more up on it. So little things like that, kind of get me to here and there. But you know,
Sure.
you can roll some punches. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
what would you say is probably like right now your
uh,
favorite brand of knife? What would you think is probably your favorite brand right now?
uh, well, I'll be pretty simple. I'll say Spyderco. I mean, just because the variety you
Sure.
can get, the consistent quality. Um, you know, you get American made knives too, and both back and forth. So I would say Spyderco overall.
Okay.
You know,
Right
yeah. I
on.
mean, I love the compression lock's my favorite.
Oh,
Paratric's probably my favorite knife. Yeah,
yeah, I do like a
yeah,
compression lock. That is for sure.
yeah.
Without
So
question.
that's kind of what I got there. So yeah, compression lock is definitely my favorite. So
I'm
spider
pretty
toe
much
for sure.
I'm pretty much a fan of any lock that
Hmm.
keeps my finger out of the cutting path.
Right. Well, yeah, that would be the
You
the
know,
case.
access, compression, button.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't have
Yeah,
anything
access is
against
cool.
a frame lock or anything like that, a liner lock, but
Right.
a lock that keeps my finger out of the cutting path, especially on some of these knives that are just like super drop sheddy anymore. I don't know
Right.
about you, but
Right.
I'm
Right.
I'm
No,
getting a
like
scar on my thumb. I'm getting the scar tissue built up.
well, well, even I watched I think Slicey's channel. I think it was like last night. He was talking about the Demco knives, right? I
Right.
mean, yeah, you really, if you're gonna let a knife like that drop, I mean, you better keep it clear, you know.
Oh my
Um,
goodness,
but
yes.
yeah, right. So even like this guy here, right? You wanna, it's not. This is a big knife to come down on your finger. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, this is like my favorite knife. This is a good work knife too. It's one of my favorites,
Right on.
if not the favorite, probably folding. Yeah.
Very
Well,
cool.
aside from the Paris 3, yeah, this is not an everyday carry for me. So yeah, it's just a little too big for here in Los Angeles, I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
to legally carry, you know what I mean? Yeah.
you guys have a 3-inch limit
I'm in
down there,
LA.
right?
Yeah, it's a 3-inch limit, like no
Yeah.
automatics, you know. So,
Right.
I own these, but of course, it's up to me if I want to carry it or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because see, that's the thing
yeah,
up here is
absolutely.
we can't. It's not legal to carry any automatic here.
Oh well, yeah. See,
See,
no,
you
yeah,
guys
it's
have
same
got.
here, same here. Yeah. I can own it, but I can't carry it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Now I thought California you could carry like a 2-inch.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's like a little, yeah, but I don't want to carry a little 2-inch automatic, you know.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. It's for me. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
But again,
get
that's
you.
just the addiction part of me talking here. Yeah.
Right.
No,
Right.
and actually, one thing I was going to mention, you got to remember, you had said something on your thing about the pool hall
Yeah. Yeah.
ninja.
Yeah.
No, and you said something to the effect of you can't call yourself like something unless you do it for a while, right? Unless you have the experience, and that's why, like, I think earlier I mentioned that I don't really consider myself a reviewer.
Okay. Okay.
Because I think something like that you kind of have to progress into, you know what I mean? Unless like you, right? You have a lot of companies coming to look for your opinion, like you're settled in already,
Okay.
and so to me, reviewing, people have to really respect your opinion. So that's why I really kind of toned down on my review part a little bit and try just try to present it more as a collection, you know what I mean? Then
I got you. I hear you. I hear what you're
kind of
saying.
like Keith Kevin Ken. Have you seen him?
Yes.
Yeah. So he kind of has a good approach of how I like to do it. Just kind of show people a little bit and let them decide for themselves.
Oh, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
And that's a great, that I like because, everybody's pretty much got their own style, right?
right,
They
right,
try to, you
right,
try to get your own style. I mean, when you're all kind of, I mean, we're all kind of doing the same thing, kind of.
right, right, right.
We're all talking about knives, right? We'll put it that way.
Absolutely.
We'll break it down to its simplest form. We're all talking
Uh-huh.
about knives, but it's like how you present, or, and I really try to keep, my personal. I don't want to try to
Opinion.
influence anyone. That's
Right.
not
Yeah. There
my
you go.
that's not
Right.
my
Right.
job. It's not my job to influence you. If I like something, I'm going to tell you I like it.
Yes.
If I
Exactly.
don't like something, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. You know
Right.
what I
Right. Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And then you kind of form your own opinion from there, right? As you watch
Right.
different videos, different people.
Exactly.
Yeah. You never know who's going to be the one to convince you to get something or
Right.
not. Right. Right.
Right.
So.
That's what they talk about, influencer and stuff. I don't really try to be an influencer.
Yeah.
I'm just here to show you the knife. I'm going to tell you if I like it or if I don't like it. And, it's up to you to watch, hopefully, more reviews than mine, and make a decision whether that knife's really going to be right
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Exactly. No, and that's what I think. I mean, that's what I started doing. I started watching, well, obviously you, you know, the big guys, Slicey, you know, Nick Shabazz.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, from there, you kind of, you know, get your own opinion and, you know, you go from there, you know. So that was my way to do it, you know.
Wow.
And look at me now. So
Very cool. Well, you got
yeah,
you got anything else you want to share with the folks? Any topics you want to talk about?
Not uh not really. Actually, one thing I did want to mention too, that everybody always says I play with my knives. I operate my knives.
Ah, there you
I
go.
think
There you
I
go.
think I think if more of us really looked at knives as tools, right, which is what they
Yeah.
are, right,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we operate them, you know, playing with them. Someone, you know, you tell somebody, hey, I'm playing with my knife. They're like, what, you know, what's wrong with this guy? So, you know, that's just a little wordplay that, you know, I try to say operating my knives. Yeah.
You know, and
So,
that is a good way to look with it. I tell you what, I will have to admit, I mean, I do play with my knives sometimes, but I like I like the way, I
right.
like where you're going with that. I like the way you're going
Yeah.
with that. And it would bring on that more of a tool aspect. I totally agree with that. But dude, it's
No, well,
been,
I'm glad you do. Sweet. Yeah.
yeah, it's been absolutely awesome talking with you today.
Yeah,
I
it was
really,
definitely.
really appreciate you doing this.
I
Um,
thank you more.
guys, you got to check out
Yeah.
D's
Yeah.
knives, especially uh he he like he said, he presents the knives in a very, I mean, precise and well thought out manner, and I really enjoy, like I said, I really love what you do with the LT Wrights and that type of thing, but I like how you present your your collection, like you said, with the, and share your collection with the community.
Right.
That's what
Right.
really
Right.
draws
Yeah.
me to your
Sharing is. Yeah.
videos.
Absolutely. No, and I think that's the biggest thing. If everybody kind of shares a little, you know, it's like anything. You share a little bit, you know, your opinion changes. Your, you know, the community grows that way. So the more people share them, the you know, the better off we are.
Guys, check out D's knives. I will have links
Thank you too, Red.
down in the description so you can go check out his channel, check out his collection. He's got some really beautiful knives. I really appreciate it, brother. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.
No, I appreciate you too, Red. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Right on,
You know
brother.
it. Thanks, Red.